The alt-right has indoctrinated Gen Z males. Gen Z woman here. The alt-right has entrapped youth, especially straight males, all over the world. It's depressing. Misogyny and homophobia is on a peak online. There will be a post of a woman literally just existing and comments will be going "go do the dishes." Just today I saw a video of a disabled woman sharing her inspirational story and some men were commenting women. It's not just dumb trolling. The comments are extremely hateful too. So many times I have seen videos of LGBT community and comments will be calling for violence and even death. I see guys who appear perfectly nice in real life interact with such content on social media. Many women, myself included, have expressed sentiments about almost losing attraction to men because of all this. I am concerned about which direction the world is heading in. Obviously many boys will grow out of this immaturity. But the effects of an entire generation growing up exposed to such bigotry and hatred is a terrifying thought. The alt-right has proven time and again that it is not a force to reckon lightly or shrug off as just online childish nonsense. What do you think about all this? What do you think is going to be the consequence of this trend? I want to especially hear the views of older women. I've noticed that too. As a Gen X woman, it's really odd to see society regressing to behaving like they did in times long past. Misogyny is a major component to the rise of global fascism. This has existed on places like 4chan since I was a middle schooler. And I'm in my 30s today. The alt-right was actually a targeted PSU op by 4chan and others, like Bannon's bunch of cronies, to weaponize disaffected white gamers. It sounds insane. But stuff like Gamergate absolutely sparked the alt-right of today. If a guy follows Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, any alt-right block. I'm a Gen Z girl and honestly, this terrifies me. I see the effects of it in real life too. Whenever I get catcalled, leered at, etc., I'd say about 95% of the time it's a teenaged young adult Gen Z boy. You can't escape them on social media either. The awful comments under almost any post made by a woman. The constant hate towards women speaking up against misogyny and violence. It's so prevalent. It's disheartening and terrifies me. Many women, myself included, have expressed sentiments about almost losing attraction to men because of all this. And this will give rise to even more men complaining that they can't get the female attention and sex they oh so rightly deserve for existing. You'd think that might bring about some more introspection. But something tells me that men are just going to use this as an excuse for more violence against women and more infringement on women's rights. Gen Z girls, do not reproduce with these ignorant, sexist, poor excuses for men. Me, a 51-year-old veteran white dad, father of 2 girls. This is a valid fear and it honestly occupies my mind a lot as a 19-year-old woman girl who has her life ahead of herself. We need solidarity with each other more than ever now. I think that misogyny has always been on an all-time high, but the messenger of those ideology changed. It used to be religions who was the primary messenger, but now it's shifting to podcasts, bros, red pillars, extremists left or right, etc. I'm 50F and yes, men have always been bad. But be warned, do not let these men and their enabling women, moms, GFS, wives, etc. take away your rights. I never thought I'd see the changes we're experiencing now in the USA. It's scary to think we could really return to a time when women are second class. Sometimes I feel lucky to be the age I am, having avoided so much of the crap going on today. 100 My brother is a perfect example of it. He's only 23 and the hate I see him display on social media is appalling. He uses his extreme Christian beliefs as an excuse to have his views, but it's downright bigotry. He wasn't raised this way and no one in my family has the same views as him. It didn't start coming up until about 3 years ago. I had to stop following him on social media because it was incredibly disappointing to see him turn down such a dark path. We don't even talk anymore too. It's like he's brainwashed. I have a brother in college and he's like this with his own mother. My dad drinks at least 10 beer cans and smokes 2 packs a day, but my brother only makes fun of my mom for being an alcoholic since she has some Bud Select 55s a few nights a week. On top of calling her fat and old despite her being fit and healthy for someone in their early 50s. Millennial male here. My generation is far from perfect and honestly probably not much better, but this is a troubling trend that I have noticed over the last few years as well. This seems to be a reaction to the slight progress that we thought we made during the late 2000s. Early 2010s. When you are treated so favorably for so long, any move towards equality, no matter how small, can be sold as persecution. And these young men have unfortunately bought in. I'm Gen X. And I find it completely terrifying. Quite often, I sit and wonder if there's anything I can do, however small. I have thought of applying to volunteer at my local women's shelter. But I'm just coming out of a depression trough. And while I'm doing much better than I was, I know I need to be in a very good headspace for their sake and my own. Before doing something like that, it's applying the philosophy of think global, act local. But, like I said, I still need to work on myself a bit more first. Even I as a woman was exposed to this. They brainwashed me into thinking feminism is bad, but alt-rights care about their women in their own way. They don't care. I cringe thinking about those times. Now I see young women getting into these too, and it's always the religious nutjob ones. Going to college, I see this behavior more and more every day. My mom works in education and she has been told to challenge misogynistic behavior and ask why they feel this way. It's upsetting seeing the rise of LGBT hate in the recent months, especially on TikTok. I really hope there's a future where this isn't a problem. It's not only Gen Z. I'm a late millennial born in 1994, and men from my generation who were perfectly normal before the whole Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson bullshit turned into the biggest misogynists I've ever met. I decided to stay single and away from men in general and only stay friends with the men I know already. Because this is so creepy what's going on right now. Men will just abuse women for fun just to be called alpha king by their incel buddies. I'm so done. I've also written a post here a few weeks ago about this issue. Yep. Always find out who they are online where they think nobody is looking. They don't shit where they eat. Found this out about a year ago when I started to comment on women's subs after finding out a couple of raging misogynists around me were poorly hiding their behavior. Now they lurk on my account and can't figure out that I started treating them the way they treat women. Tears of joy. I'm a guy Gen X and I'm shocked to see it unfold in front of me. I thought the younger generations were getting more progressive overall.